Hello me all, it's Mabon and little Sunna here. As most of you know, she is the duck that's disabled. She's been struggling a little bit extra with the cold weather we've got down here. Definitely in full swing, and basically not long to winter. And to top it off, everyone has dropped their wing feathers and have been growing back wing feathers. But as you could imagine, if the nutritional needs are already impaired because one has a disability, then, you know, having to grow back wing feathers, which is quite an ordeal, they only do those once a year, they're going to struggle. So she's been sitting down a lot, not standing, waggy tail. But I mean, otherwise she's not actually sick, like with any or respiratory or anything like that. Is literally mechanical and nutritional needs because of the mechanical and the seasonal change and molting. So, Sunna, the bumblefoot she had on her good leg from compensating her gait and weight is gone. Leuka is the last one with the bumblefoot. It's gone on one leg or one foot, and it's going on the other, but it's not quite there yet. Waggy tails, you happy? You happy? So everyone's outside. Leuka and Freya are still isolated until Freya's feathers are completely back. I'm not risking it this year. A year of her not having wing feathers is enough. And Leuka, of course, she's got the bumble. The boys are jumping on top of her and she's got a bumble. That's just going to make it worse. So she's got to heal that up. So the plan of attack. So usually every night when all the ducks have a herbal bath, warm herbal bath before going to bed in the office, I basically do a bit of rehab with Sunna here. I do some trigger point up her leg and around her keel. And then tapping on the opposite side to compensate for any excess strain and weight bearing, as you could imagine. She's favouring her good leg all the time. That's noodles there. She's had some noodles as well. Her favourite thing. Hello. Oh, actually, no, lady fingers are her favourite thing. I'm talking about a plant here, not the cake. So anyway, so yeah, she was sitting down a lot and her tail was down a lot. None of the girls are laying eggs at the moment because they're doing that hard molt with the feathers in the wing feathers. Even the boys have dropped their wing feathers and are growing them back. May the 1st is when winter hits in the southern hemisphere, as the north goes into summer or Autumnal. Hey honey, in relation to where we sit on the opposite poles, is also where we sit with our seasonal changes. Is completely the same, absolutely same, but completely opposite in timings, that is. Here, puppy. So anyway, usually at night I do that rehab, and it's cold. So as you can imagine, when you've got issues with joints, the cold gets to it and it's just worse. So that combined with trying to grow feathers on her wings and extra nutritional needs. So last night I gave her a cup of strong brewer's yeast. I gave her some again this morning. Everyone gets some brewer's yeast in their noodle treat on a daily basis. That's how I accommodate their vitamin B. But I'm obviously going to have to increase the dose for Sunna here as her feathers and the wing feathers grow back. Hey honey! So the tip of her tail there looks dirty because her tail feathers were pretty much pointing or dragging down. So she wasn't preening as much as what ducks you need to do, and not standing. So she'd stand a bit then drop down and sit. Otherwise she's quirky, feisty and cheeky little shit with everyone, but it's, you know, just a mechanical. So getting it nipping it in the bud, I'm basically doing morning rehab as well now, until, you know, this morning she was standing well, her tail was perked up instead of dropping down, so the extra nutrition has helped. There's a little bit more colour in her bill as well, her beak. She's looking a bit blue and pale in the beak there, so that's also a nutritional indicator. bit like us with our fingernails. You can tell some nutritional deficiencies by looking at the condition and state of someone's fingernail bed. And the same thing with eyes and the gums with humans. So anyway, so what we do is, this is a warm herbal bath. My bumblefoot mixture, there's marjoram in there. Marjoram is actually really good for pain relief as well, and mint. And also for the female reproductive system, especially with the birds. They need help with that, with the egg laying. So just hanging. So it's because she can't walk as much, it's important for her to exercise those legs. So putting her in the tub in the morning is an extra opportunity to flip her those feet. We play choo-choo train, so basically, push her along one side of the bath to the other, and then I give her a big push to go choo-choo to the other end, and she loves that. She just lets her legs hang. So basically, I'm wanting her to just move and exercise her feet, both feet, the disabled leg and the good leg. Then I have this towel which has been sitting in front of the heater. I've got some vet wrap. It sticks to itself without sticking to the feathers. I'm going to dry her off, do some more trigger point on her bad leg, tapping on the good side, and then I'm going to strap her up just to do a bit of warmth and support. Now, if she's outside all day, I probably actually wouldn't use this unless I had a situation where I'm thinking of making a brace out of wetsuit material, and basically then I can strap over that brace, so that way she's got warmth without damp getting in there. Because you can imagine if the cold is affecting your joints and you've got something like this is wet and it's cold and that's strapped to your leg, that's not going to be fun. It's not good. I think it's going to do more damage than good. So it's something I might do later on. But for now, because this morning she's in with me, I'm going to put her outside later today. It's not deluging and it's only half the day. So spending half a day outside with this on, even if it's cold, it's not going to be too bad, especially she's undercover. But she's coming to the store with me today. She's going into the Duckmobile, and we're going to get some yarn. And then when we get back, I'll put her with Freya and Leuka so she can spend the rest of the day outside. But after I dry her off and strap her up and give her a bit of physical therapy, I'll be putting her into her fresh bed in the office. Then I'm going to clean myself up, get dressed, out of the tracky jacks and all that, and waggy tails, woo! Wagging tails is a really good indicator of duck happiness, by the way. A bit like doggos, the tail wagging is ridiculous. Bop bop. And also talking. You want them talking or making little grunts or whimpers, or just engaging. I guess that's the correct summation of that. But anyway, so yes, we're going to the yarn store. You pick up some yarn. I know I got balls of yarn everywhere. For those who don't know what yarn is, it's a yarn. I don't know how we got from yarn to yarn, but it's actually called yarn, not yarn. Anywho's, so yeah, that's the plan of attack. So this is a thing with animals with special needs. This duck is obviously special needs duck, and you got to spend extra time, especially when the seasons change. You know yourself if you've got any injuries or anything, or know anyone with arthritis, and the weather changes, and the extra effect it has. So you do what you do. So next week I'm taking Leuka to the vet. I want to get some antibacterial or some antifungal, not topical but an actual oral treatment, and I want to basically treat all 4 girls, even though 3 of them no longer have bumblefoot. But I'm still going to give them an oral treatment to flush out any staph in the bloodstream so it doesn't come back this winter. But the plug is gone, the bumblefoot plug's gone on their feet, except for Leuka. So I'm going to take Leuka down and, you know, hopefully it's down even further then. And yeah, I'm not physically removing the bumblefoots. I'm just doing herbal soaks and letting it come off in its own time. And it takes a little bit longer to treat, but I don't know. I'm very conservative on pulling up the scalpel or doing any surgery of any sort, or any physical removal of things, because, you know, I tend to see when people start getting bumblefoot in their birds that it keeps coming back. And I think part of the reason is if you're physically removing, you're also causing... People forget, when you get surgery or any physical intervention like that, you're creating more injuries. So you may be fixing an underlying problem, but you're creating more injuries. And I think, you know, even though you get the callus back in the scar tissue, you know, maybe that scar tissue and callus, because it's jagged, it's not rounded on a cellular level, maybe that also creates an increased risk of getting bumblefoot again, because it's easier to scratch or cut and then it gets infected and then you got bumblefoot. So, you know, I think it starts to get into a vicious circle. So, you know, don't be stressed if you have birds and you end up coming across getting bumblefoot on some of them. I think it's part of bird keeping. I think it's, you know, even eagles can get bumblefoot, usually because they're being enclosed. I don't like seeing eagles enclosed, but if you've got to fix them because something's happened, it's different, isn't it? Then you release them back into the wild if they can be, but if they're blind or, you know, obviously they're special needs, they need human care for the rest of their lives. But anyway, digressing. So that's our plan of attack today. Hey, Sunna, doo-doo-doo-doo, ducky. What are you doing? You listening to me jabber? Yabba. Another thing too, before I get on with this, I have got the neighbour's cat constantly coming in my yard. It's so pissing me off. Holes all over my greenhouse. I keep having to replace the greenhouse screening. It's like $200 a pop. I'm getting real fed up. So when I go to the store, I mean, it's something I usually do anyway, but I'm going to make sure all the ducks are locked in their run, just in case. Even if a cat doesn't actually hurt them, it's just scaring them, you know. And they're so clumsy with their flippers. I mean, they're really water birds. They're not land birds. So they're so clumsy. It's easy for them to, you know, run into things and, you know, trip over themselves, sprain their foot, and, you know, and yeah, they feel extra secure knowing they're in a, you know, enclosed space. So I'll be locking them all in the runs when I go to the store with Sunna. When I get back, I'll put her back with Freyas and Leuka. Then I'll open the run so they can run out again and play in their pool and all that sort of jazz. But anyway, blessed be Mary Part. Thought I'd do a bit of an update on the Sunna, the disabled ducky. Oh, honey. She's so beautiful, though. Truly. You know, she's so affectionate as well. Belly crawls up your chest and sticks her head in your neck, in the nape of your neck, for cuddles, and she's just adorable. Alright, blessed be Mary Part. I hope we're all doing well. And if you're in the southern hemisphere, hope you're getting your last shit done before the winter hits. Now's the time, you know, get your shit together, get your cleaning done, get your yard sorted, and prepare to bunker down for a long cold winter. We have long cold winters down here. Not as long as the north, but still, especially in this spot where we are in Ballarat, it gets pretty cold. And, you know, if you need to run outside every morning like I do and clean runs and, you know, an hour or so before I take the birds out from the office to be outside, if I don't have the big jobs done, like the runs and, you know, the yard cleared from any junk and pathways, things like that, then it just makes everything so much worse in winter. And then if you have a roof collapsing in the run in winter because you haven't done the maintenance, then, you know, being outside when it's raining, freaking cold, and you can't use gloves because you can't, you know, maneuver the bolts and that sort of thing. Yeah, not good. So yeah, prepare, get yourself ready. That's what fall is for, not just the good food. Blessed be and Mary Pat. Yeah, say goodbye soon now. Yeah. Blah, 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 blah.